So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Kreatryx channel. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared engineering services examination 2 times from electronics and telecommunication branch, both times in double digit rank. In 2014 my rank was 98 and in 2015 my rank was 25th. I have served as a Group A Gastro Officer in Indian Railways and in Indian Telecommunication Services. So most of you must have been following me on the Kreatryx channel for electromagnetic field theory. So if you are a seeker of a free education, this is the channel for you, and you must understand that all these free initiatives is coming your way because of the Unacademy. So Unacademy is the revolution in the field of the free education and the affordable education. So how can you access those free courses? So if you want to access the free courses, you must immediately subscribe this channel, Kreatryx channel, because all the top educators of the country is providing the free course on this channel. And that free course is absolutely brilliant in content, that is systematic, that is organized, and that is complete. So complete playlist you will be getting of a particular subject. You can develop the concept, you can gain confidence. More than that, you can love the subject. So immediately subscribe this channel. Secondly, if you want to access more free content, then you must immediately download the Unacademy Learners app, because on the Unacademy Learners app, top educators of the country are conducting the free special classes. In that free special classes, you can get topic wise clarity of a particular concept. And do not forget to follow me on the Unacademy Learning app. So you can also access the courses. So you must have two things. First is your YouTube channel. This YouTube channel, Kreatryx YouTube channel, must be subscribed. Secondly, you must understand that you should have the Unacademy Learning app. That is must for you in order to crack the examination. So these are the parts of the free education. And if you want to organize your content well, if you want more comprehensive manner, if you want other advantages of the Unacademy, then what are the other initiatives that is running by the Unacademy? So another initiative that is running by the Unacademy is Unacademy Plus. So on the Unacademy Plus, this is very affordable for those who actually want to take their preparation to the next level. So आपको Unacademy Plus में क्या क्या मिलेगा? You will be getting the live classes on a fixed time, so that you can get more disciplined, you can get more organized, and you have something in your mind that at this particular time my classes are going to run. Apart from that, you will get free test series designed by the educator itself. So gone those times when we have lot of errors in the test series, we do not have the discussions of the test series. So there the test series will be conducted by the educators. They themselves will be discussing the solutions of that particular thing. So you can imagine that your preparation is going to the next level for this. Apart from that, those who have prepared themselves for the examination, so for them there are crash courses also available. Again the crash courses will going to help you in achieve good ranks. Those who have already achieved good ranks and want to improve their rank, for them there are rank improvement batches. More than that, you can also see that there are unlimited practice sessions. So what do you understand by unlimited practice session? Which means there will be various doubt solving sessions. Apart from the doubt solving sessions, there are weekly quizzes, and with the help of those weekly quizzes you can enhance your problem solving skills. So lot of unlimited doubt solving sessions, lot of quiz sessions, systematic content, structured content. You can download the PDF after the lectures, so you don't have to waste your time in order to making notes. You can utilize those times to practice the particular concepts, or you can use those times to just write down the formulas so that you can remember those formulas quickly. Apart from this plus subscription, there is also one subscription which is known as Iconic. So Iconic subscriptions are for them who actually do not have the self motivation but having the talent. So if they are having the talent and you do not have the self motivation, that how can I push myself to crack the examination, so in this Iconic subscription you will be assigned a personal coach. So this personal coach is going to be with you every time, and he will help you to achieve your dreams. You will get a study planner which will be customized for you. You will get the expert guidelines who have already topped the examination. They will be basically hand holding you to crack the examination. So if you think you are not self motivated, if you think you do not have the proper background to crack any particular competitive examination, so this Iconic subscription is must for you. This is going to help you. So if you want the free education, then YouTube channel and the special classes are must for you. And if you can afford a little bit, how much you should afford, that we'll discuss in a while. But if you can afford a little bit, you should come on to this Unacademy Plus. And more than that, if you want the expedited process in your preparation, आप जल्दी से एग्जाम निकालना चाहते हैं, जल्दी से अपनी गलतियां सुधारना चाहते हैं, so this Iconic subscription is for you. Then now let us start today's lecture, which is on the communication system. So now let us start the lecture.
Hello friends, welcome to this lecture of communication system. So in this lecture we are going to talk about this FM demodulator. So first of all, you should understand that the FM demodulation process is FM demodulation process is essentially a differentiation process. A differentiation process. How it is a differentiation process? Let us try to understand it. So suppose we have message signal as m of t and we have carrier signal as AC cos 2 pi fct. So from here you can write the general expression of FM signal, which will be AC cos 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf minus infinity to t m tau d tau. So this is the general expression of FM signal. So now let us differentiate this. So if I will differentiate this signal, what I will get? I will get minus AC into 2 pi fc plus 2 pi kf into mt into sine 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf minus infinity to t m tau d tau. So this is the differentiation. So let us try to rearrange this differentiation as, so if you will rearrange this differentiation, it might look something like this. It is minus AC 2 pi fc plus 2 pi kf mt into sine 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf integration of m tau d tau, and this integration's limit will be from minus infinity to t. So now let us take 2 pi fc as common. So I can write it as minus AC 2 pi fc. It will become 1 plus kf by fc mt into sine 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf integration from minus infinity to t m tau d tau. So let me compare this expression with this. AC dash into 1 plus kmt sine 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf minus infinity to t m tau d tau. This is the differentiation process. So upon comparison you could get Ka equal to kf upon fc. So this is the comparison. Now we know that if I have to write the modulation index, so it will become Ka mod of mt max. So it becomes kf by fc mod of mt max. We already know that in case of FM, this mod of delta ft max is nothing but kf mod of mt max. So I am denoting this as delta f. So you can write it as delta f by fc. So basically the result of the differentiation comes out to be, you had this s fm of t and you differentiated it. So there is the result of that differentiation. Let me call this as y xt. So this xt came out to be AC dash into 1 plus Ka mt into sine 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kf minus infinity to t m tau d tau. And if you will look closely, this particular x of t till now has am variation and this is fm variation. So this x of t has both variations because its amplitude is also instantaneous, and obviously when you will calculate its frequency, it will also be instantaneous. It has both amplitude as well as frequency both in the instantaneous format. So that is why it is the combination of AM and FM. So our purpose was the demodulation of FM. Demodulation of FM means we must apply the FM signal and we must be able to extract the message signal. So from here overall you can see that if you are able to extract the envelope of this particular signal, which is this, then you can extract your message signal. So what I will do, I will pass this x of t with an envelope detector and with the caution that mu should be less than or equal to 1, and mu in this case is nothing but delta f by fc. So from here delta f by fc should be less than or equal to 1. So if mu is less than or equal to 1, then envelope detector will produce this particular AC dash into 1 plus KAMT. If it would have been greater than 1, then it would have produced mod of AC dash into 1 plus KAMT. Now after that, what you should do, you can also write it as AC dash plus AC dash KAMT. Apply a capacitor, it will block the DC and you will get the output AC dash KAMT. Now with the application of an amplifier, you can again get your message signal back. Now here if mu would have been greater than 1, in that case you would have got mod of AC dash into 1 plus KMT. In that case message signal cannot be recovered. So the basic block diagram of FM demodulator can be drawn like this. If you have FM demodulator, so basic block diagram you can draw as SFM of t. First of all you should differentiate it, then you should pass it through an envelope detector. The output of this will be combination of AM and FM. Now while passing through the envelope detector, this AM plus FM signal which has been generated here must have mu less than or equal to 1 or delta F by Fc should be less than or equal to 1. Then output of the envelope detector will become AC dash into 1 plus KMT, and then with the combination of capacitors and amplifiers you can obtain your message signal M of t. So this is the basic block diagram to detect the FM signal or FM demodulator. So now let us try to understand the practical demodulator, which is sometimes also known as PLL. So what is PLL? So first of all you should understand the full form of the PLL, which is phase locked loop. So basically we have to form a loop in which phases has to be locked. So phases of which quantity has to be locked, this we have to understand. So this PLL is practical method of, this is practical method of FM demodulation. So it is the practical method of FM demodulation. So now let us try to demodulate the FM by this process. So let me draw the block diagram of PLL. So block diagram contains, because it is a modulator, so it will receive the frequency modulated signal, and the very first block of PLL is phase comparator circuit. It is phase comparator circuit. Then it is passed through a loop filter, and it has unit impulse response as h of t, and this is a linear time invariant system. So let me make this output as v of t. Now this output is passed through a VCO, which is voltage control oscillator, and about VCO we have already discussed when we were studying the direct method of FM generation. So this is the VCO. So obviously we can also write the output of the VCO here, which becomes SVT. So this is the basic block diagram of a PLL. Now you can see that this PLL block diagram is looking quite similar to as of synchronous detector. In synchronous detector we had multiplier here. It is also being passed through a low pass filter, and we were multiplying here with a locally generated carrier. So it is somewhat similar to that of synchronous detector. Now let us try to write the inputs and outputs. So first of all, input of the PLL is a frequency modulated signal. So input of the PLL is nothing but it will be an FM signal or frequency modulated signal. So this SFMT can be written as AC cos 2 pi FCT plus 2 pi KF minus infinity to T m tau d tau. So if I consider this phi 1t as 2 pi kf minus infinity to T m tau d tau, so you can write it as SFM of T equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus 2 pi KF plus phi 1t. So this is the expression of the FM signal. Now if you will look the block diagram of PLL, so PLL contains three major sections. It contains three major sections. The first section is the phase comparator. So the first section you are looking here is phase comparator. Second section is a loop filter, and third section is your voltage controlled oscillator. So now let us try to study one by one. So we will start with the third block, which is your VCO. So we know that VCO is a sinusoidal waveform generator. It is a sinusoidal waveform generator whose frequency is dependent on the input applied to it, which means VCO will generate a sinusoidal waveform, and the frequency of that sinusoidal waveform will depend upon the input applied to it. Now what we do here, we adjust the VCO for the zero controlled voltage as first frequency of the VCO is FC, frequency of the VCO is FC, and second is VCO output has 90-degree phase shift with respect to unmodulated carrier. So which means we have to adjust our VCO such that if no input is applied to it, or no control or zero control voltage is applied to it, it is generating a sinusoidal waveform of frequency FC, and also it is 90 degrees shifted from the unmodulated carrier. So this is the behavior of the VCO when zero control voltage is applied. So the frequency must be FC, which means the carrier may be sin cos FCT or cos 2 pi FCT, but since it has to shift 90 degree out of phase from the unmodulated carrier, and your unmodulated carrier is cos 2 pi fct, so it must be sin 2 pi fct. Now if we apply the Vt, so VCO will act as a FM generator and it will generate a signal with instantaneous frequency equal to Fc plus kV into Vt, or it will generate an FM signal which can be written as AV sine 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kV integration of Vt dt minus infinity to t. So in this case, the output of VCO when V of t is not equal to 0. In this case, VCO will behave as direct FM generator or FM generator. So this SVT now can be written as AV sine 2 pi fct plus 2 pi kV minus infinity to t V tau d tau. So let me denote this as phi to t 2 pi kV minus infinity to t V tau d tau. So this SVT can be written as AV sine 2 pi fct plus phi to t. So this is the expression. Now second block is your phase comparator. Second block is phase comparator. So you can write it as phase comparator is a multiplier. Phase comparator is nothing but a multiplier followed by a low pass filter. So basically this phase comparator rejects the frequencies centered at 2fc. So we had block diagram something like this. SFMT was given to the phase comparator. It was your phase comparator, and it was given SVT from here, and we were obtaining an output. So this equivalently will look something like this. First of all, we will have a multiplier, and output of this multiplier is passed through a low pass filter, and the characteristic of the low pass filter I am making like this. It is from minus FM to FM, and pass band gain I am choosing it as -1. So this is your pass band gain, and this overall block is known as phase comparator. This is your phase comparator. Now let's move on to the another block, which was loop filter. So loop filter is nothing but a filter which has unit impulse response as h of t, and it will have frequency response of h of f. So it is a linear time invariant system which we are taking in consideration as loop filter. So now let us try to analyze the PLL, phase locked loop. So the PLL was this FMT, Then it was given to the phase comparator. This output was given to the loop filter. And in between, in the feedback, you had VCO, and the output of the VCO was given to the phase comparator. So let me make this point as X of t. This is as SV of t, and this point is V of t. So first of all, what will be output of multiplier? So if I have to calculate the output of the multiplier, I can write SFM of t into SV of t. So it becomes AC cos 2 pi FCT plus phi 1t into AV sin 2 pi FCT plus phi 2t. So this can be written as SFM of t SV of t equal to AC AV by 2. It becomes 2 sin 2 pi 2 FCT plus phi 2t into cos 2 pi FCT plus phi 1t. So this can be written as AC AV by 2 sin A plus B. It becomes 4 pi FCT plus phi 1t plus phi 2t plus sin A minus B. So it becomes phi 2t minus phi 1t. Now we know that this phase comparator has two blocks. One is multiplier, another one is low pass filter, that too with passband gain of -1. So if you will pass this signal through this low pass filter, so this particular signal is centered at 2 FC, so it will not be allowed by the filter, and output of the filter becomes output of low pass filter becomes, because passband gain is minus, so it will become minus AC AV by 2 into sin phi 2t minus phi 1t. So from here you can see that this is not allowed by this component is not allowed by the low pass filter, and only this component is allowed by the filter. Also it has passband gain of -1, so that is why I have multiplied -1 outside. So this output of the low pass filter becomes AC AV by 2 into sin phi 1t minus phi 2t. Now we know that if phases of two signals, which is SFMT and SVT, has to be locked, then if we define an error signal phi ET, which is equal to phi 1t minus phi 2t, it should be very small. It should be very much of small. So we can write the comparator output as AC AB by 2 sin phi ET. We know that if theta is small, so sin theta can be approximately replaced by theta. So you can write it as AC AB by 2 into phi ET, or approximately by choosing these values of AC AB appropriately, I can write it phi ET. So I just want to remove these constants, so that is why I removed it, and I have made the comparator's output as phi ET. Now we know that if the comparator output is phi et, then it is being passed through this loop filter. This is h of t, and output of the loop filter is v of t. So we know that this phi et is phi 1t minus phi 2t, or you can write it as 2 pi kf integration of mt dt minus 2 pi kv integration of vt dt. So this is the output. Now if I differentiate it, so we know that we can write it as 2 pi kf mt minus 2 pi kv vt. So we know that if we take Fourier transform on both the sides, so we know that if the Fourier transform of x of t is x of f, so the Fourier transform of dxt by dt becomes j 2 pi f x of f. So here you can write it as j 2 pi f phi ef equal to 2 pi kf into mf minus 2 pi kv into vf. So 2 pi gets cancelled from both the sides. So we get jf into phi ef equal to kf into mf minus kv into vf. So this result we obtained from here. Now you can see that since this is an LTI system, so this v of t can be written as phi et convolution h of t, and if you take Fourier transform on this both sides, so it becomes v of f equal to phi e of f into h of f. So if I consider this equation as 1 and this equation as 2, so I can put the value of v of f from here. So we know that phi ef or jf phi ef equal to kf mf minus kv vf. This was our equation 1, and the second equation was v of f equal to h of f into phi e of f. So let us solve these two equations. If I put the value of v of f here, so this equation becomes jf phi ef equal to kf mf minus kv h of f phi e of f. So you can take phi e of f common, so it becomes jf kv hf equal to kf mf, and from here this phi ef can be written as kf mf upon jf plus kvhf. So now we know that for phase to be log, this phi et should tend to 0, which means this phi ef should also be 0, and from this expression we can see that this phi ef will tend to 0 only when this mod of hf tends to infinite, because this is the only thing which we can control. The filter can be designed by the user. This message signal cannot be controlled, rest are the things are constant. So whenever we will design our filter in such a way that its magnitude is very high or it is almost tending to infinity, then this error will tend to 0. So we can say that for phase lock phenomenon, this loop filter is responsible. So this loop filter is responsible for this lock phenomenon. Now the output of the loop filter, can be written as VF equal to HF into phi EF. So you can write it as VF equal to value of HF you have calculated, and phi EF is also calculated in the last case. So phi EF becomes KF MF upon JF. It becomes KF MF upon JF plus KV into VF, and this will be multiplied by HF. So it is multiplied by HF. So this V of F can be written as KF MF HF upon JF plus KV HF. Now we can also write it as KF into MF into HF. I can take this JF as common, so it will become 1 plus KV into HF upon JF. Now we already know that this mod of HF is almost tending to infinity or very high, so this overall expression I can ignore with respect to 1. So this can be written as KV into MF into HF upon JF into KV HF upon JF. So this JF gets cancelled out, and you can write it as KF by KV. This HF also gets cancelled out, MF. So from here you can see that this V of F was KF by KV into MF, or this V of T can be written as KF by KV into MT. So from here you can see that the PLL is operating successfully once you are operating it in phase lock mode, which means if this mod HF is very high or the loop filter is designed in such a way that it is almost tending to infinite, in that case you can always recover your message signal at the output. So output we denoted as V of T, and it is directly proportional to your message signal. So you must also remember this formula, that what is the formula of this V of T, along with the process of understanding that how the message signal is recovered by the PLL when an amplitude and a frequency modulated signal was applied to its input. So this is it in the FM Demodulator process. Thank you.
So if you have liked today's lecture and you want to subscribe the Unacademy Plus, the very first thing that you should understand that you should use this particular code. What is the code? The code is Vishal Gate. Write my name and attach gate to it. So by using this particular code, you will be getting all the advantages of the Unacademy Plus. All the added advantages will be directly assigned to you. Secondly, you will directly come to under my guidance, and that will surely help you to crack the examination in the least possible time, and you will also get the guidance of the complete team. Okay, and the most important thing is that you will immediately get the 10% discount on that. So immediately you are enabled to get 10% discount once you use this coupon code. So for example, if you talk about the plus subscription, which is costing you 25,000 for 1 year, and if you use this coupon code Vishalgate, immediately you are going to get 10% discount, which is 22,500. And if you talk about the iconic subscription of the 12 month, this will cost you around 40,400. So these are the cost of the 12 months. And if you want to talk about the 2-year subscription, cost of the plus, it is your 27,000 after discount. If you want more discount than 10%, and you have already attended the special classes, then you will be having some credits in your account. Do not forget to use those credits so that you can get more discount than 10%. Now how can you pay these amounts? So there is one good news for you, that you can pay this amount by using credit cards and debit cards by using the facility of the zero cost EMI. So if you want to pay this particular amount of 22,500 with the help of zero cost EMI, So the zero cost EMI can be availed by using credit cards and debit cards. Remember, you can use the credit card of any company, but the debit card is allowed for HDFC and the Bajaj Finserv. Apart from that, if you want to directly pay this much of amount, you think that this particular amount is the most affordable fees that can be provided to you for 1 year subscription, तो आप directly क्या कर सकते हैं? You can use this credit card, debit card, direct payment. You can also go for the EMI options, okay, and you can directly pay this amount by using net banking. Every time you think of the Unacademy Plus subscription, the first thing that should come in your mind is this particular code. Do not forget to use this code once you take the subscription, because I have already told you that this particular coupon code is going to give you the lot of advantages, so you cannot miss the opportunity to use this code. So every student who want to come on to the Unacademy Plus, they want to take the advantages of the Unacademy Plus, they want to empower themselves in the best possible manner in this digital era, they want to be the part of this revolution, then this is the time for you. You do not have to wait for it. If you are in the first year, if you are in the second year, you are in the third year, the best possible time is right now to prepare for the examination, to dedicate yourself, to give yourself the opportunity so that you can get the success as early as possible. Apart from that, you should also join this GATE aspirant group. So this GATE aspirants group is already having 150k plus students, so you can join it. There are a lot of discussions going on between students. You can get the advantage of those discussions. Okay. You can also join this Kreatryx channel, which is a Telegram channel. So everyone has to join this channel so that you can get all the PDFs of the lecture which is being assigned to you. Fine. There are various channels which you can go for it. So various channels in the association with Kreatryx. So you can follow the channel of your interest. And this is it in today's lecture. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much.